Have you ever decided to skip a shower because it felt like too much work? Or maybe you looked at yesterday's shirt and thought, it still looks okay. I'll wear it again today. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. These small choices might seem harmless, but they could be quietly affecting your health, your comfort, and even your sense of dignity. As we age, certain habits become harder to keep up. Not because we don't care, but because our bodies and routines change. Maybe it's joint pain, maybe it's memory, or maybe we just don't realize how these little details add up over time. Today we're going to talk about 10 personal hygiene habits that many older adults overlook without even realizing it. Each one of these habits can have a big impact on your well-being. Some of them might surprise you, some might sound familiar, and all of them are worth a second look. So, whether you're here for yourself or someone you love, stay with me. You just might hear something that could make a real difference. 1. Clothing. What you wear affects how you feel. Wearing clean clothes isn't just about looking presentable. It's about feeling comfortable, staying healthy, and preserving your dignity. But for many older adults, changing clothes every day becomes less of a priority. Sometimes it's because of physical limitations. Bending, sorting, or doing laundry can feel exhausting. Other times it's because we may not notice the smell or feel the discomfort anymore. Our senses naturally dull with age, and what once felt off may now feel normal. Take the story of Marlene, a widow in her late 60s. After her husband passed away, Marlene struggled to keep up with daily routines. Laundry, in particular, felt overwhelming. She began wearing the same clothes several days in a row, telling herself they were still fine. Over time, she developed a rash on her back and shoulders, irritation from wearing unwashed fabric that had absorbed sweat and bacteria. It wasn't until her daughter visited and noticed the irritation that they talked about it. Together, they set up a new laundry routine and made sure Marlene always had clean, soft clothes ready to wear. The rash cleared up, but more importantly, so did her sense of comfort and confidence. Clean clothes do more than protect your skin. They offer a sense of routine and stability. They say, I care for myself. If you or someone you know is struggling with this, a few small changes can help. Use clearly labeled bins for clean and dirty laundry. Plan outfits ahead of time, maybe even lay them out the night before. Lightweight clothing can also make changing easier. And most importantly, ask for help when you need it. There's no shame in that. In fact, it's a sign of self-respect. 2. Grooming and self-worth. Grooming isn't about vanity. It's about dignity, comfort, and self-respect. When we look in the mirror and see someone well cared for, we feel more grounded and in control. But as we age, grooming can become more difficult. Reaching the back of your head to shampoo, trimming thickened nails, holding a brush when your hands ache. These aren't small challenges, and for many seniors, they quietly lead to habits of avoidance. Consider Helen, a woman in her 70s who had always taken pride in her appearance. She used to get her hair done every 2 weeks, and her nails were always neatly trimmed. But arthritis made brushing painful. Her hands no longer had the grip they used to. She began skipping hair washes and stopped trimming her nails. At first, it felt like no big deal. But over time, her scalp became itchy, and her nails thickened and yellowed, signs of fungal infection. She avoided going out and began to withdraw from her usual social routines. With help from her niece, Helen started using a long-handled brush and a no-rinse shampoo foam. They also scheduled regular visits from a podiatrist to help with nail care. The change wasn't just physical. Helen smiled more. She picked out earrings again. She said she felt like herself for the first time in months. Grooming is personal, and it doesn't need to be elaborate. What matters is consistency, comfort, and care. Try soaking nails in warm water to soften them before trimming. Use tools designed for limited dexterity, and when needed, ask for support from a caregiver or family member. Maintaining your appearance isn't about impressing anyone else. It's about feeling confident in your own skin. 3. Assistive devices, the overlooked germ carriers. We often think of canes, walkers, and wheelchairs as extensions of safety and support, and they are. But they can also be quiet collectors of dirt, bacteria, and viruses. Handles, grips, and wheels are touched constantly, often without much thought. Over time, they can become breeding grounds for germs that transfer directly to your hands, then to your face, mouth, or food. Let me tell you about Ruth, a 78-year-old woman who used a walker to help her stay mobile around the house. She was fiercely independent and rarely asked for help. Over time, she began noticing small red spots on the palms of her hands. They were itchy and sometimes sore, but she assumed it was just dry skin. After a checkup, her doctor identified the culprit: bacteria from the foam handles of her walker, which hadn't been cleaned in over a year. It's not something we often think about. We clean our countertops and wash our dishes. But how often do we wipe down the very object we lean on every single day? The solution is simple. Once a week, take a damp cloth or disinfectant wipe and clean the areas you touch most: handles, grips, or wheelchair arms. If your device folds or has small nooks, use a soft bristled brush to remove debris. You don't need fancy cleaners. Warm, soapy water works well, and disinfectant wipes are quick and easy. These tools support your freedom. Give them the same care and attention you give your body. A clean walker doesn't just protect your hands, it helps protect your health. 4. Oral health, more than just a smile. Oral hygiene might not be the first thing we think of when we talk about health, but it should be. Our mouths are the gateway to the rest of our bodies. When we neglect them, the consequences go far beyond bad breath or a sore gum. They can include infections, tooth loss, and even more serious complications like heart disease or diabetes-related problems. For many older adults, oral care becomes harder with age. Holding a toothbrush can be painful if you have arthritis. Flossing can feel impossible with reduced dexterity. And for those who wear dentures, the routine is different, but just as important. Take the case of Eleanor, a 75-year-old who lived alone and wore full dentures. She brushed them occasionally, but didn't clean them daily. She figured rinsing was enough. Over time, she began to feel discomfort in her gums and started avoiding certain foods. It wasn't until a dental visit revealed a fungal infection that she understood how serious the issue had become. The solution wasn't complicated. Daily cleaning of her dentures with a proper solution, rinsing her mouth regularly with antibacterial mouthwash, and storing her dentures in a clean, dry container overnight. With these simple steps, the infection cleared, and Eleanor could eat comfortably again. For those with natural teeth, electric toothbrushes and flossing aids can be life-changing. And for everyone, dentures or not, regular dental visits every 6 months help catch issues early. Oral hygiene isn't just about keeping your teeth clean. It's about protecting your whole body, preserving your ability to eat comfortably, and maintaining confidence in conversations and social moments. Take care of your mouth. It does a lot more than smile. 5. Bathing, a ritual of renewal. Bathing is one of the most basic ways we care for ourselves, but for many older adults, it becomes one of the hardest. The fear of slipping in the tub, the strain of standing too long, or simply feeling too tired can lead to skipping showers more often than we'd like to admit. And while missing a day here or there might not seem serious over time, infrequent bathing can lead to skin issues, unpleasant odors, and a subtle loss of self-confidence. Let me share the story of Gloria, an 81-year-old woman who once loved her evening bath. But after a minor fall in the bathroom, she became afraid to shower alone. She started washing only with a damp cloth and avoided the tub entirely. Her family began to notice a change, not just in her hygiene, but in her mood. She seemed more withdrawn, less comfortable in her own home. Eventually, a visit to the doctor confirmed she had developed a skin infection from accumulated sweat and bacteria. The good news is, with a few adjustments, Gloria got back to bathing regularly and safely. She installed grab bars, used a non-slip mat, and added a sturdy shower chair. Her daughter helped place all her bathing items within easy reach. These changes not only improved her skin but lifted her spirits. Bathing isn't just about being clean. It's about feeling fresh, dignified, and alive. If standing in the shower is hard, sit. If you're afraid of slipping, use support bars and non-slip rugs. And if you need help, ask someone you trust to assist or simply check in afterward. Don't let fear or fatigue rob you of this simple, powerful ritual. You deserve to feel good in your body every single day. 6. Hands, the hidden germ pathways. We use our hands for everything, from preparing meals and touching our faces to greeting others and handling medication. And yet, hand hygiene is one of the most commonly overlooked habits among older adults. Over time, people may forget to wash their hands as often as needed, especially after using the restroom or before eating. Sometimes it's due to cognitive decline, sometimes it's just habit. But the impact can be serious. Consider May, a 76-year-old woman living in a senior community. She was generally healthy but started feeling unwell during flu season. Soon, several other residents began reporting similar symptoms. After an investigation, it was discovered that the outbreak had likely been spread through poor hand hygiene, especially during shared meals and group activities. Staff began posting reminders and setting up hand sanitizer stations throughout the facility. Within weeks, the infection rate dropped significantly. Washing your hands regularly is one of the simplest, most powerful ways to protect yourself and others. Warm water and soap for at least 20 seconds, about the time it takes to hum the happy birthday song twice, is all it takes. When soap and water aren't available, hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol is a great backup. Keep hand sanitizer near high traffic areas, next to your favorite chair, on the kitchen counter, or by your nightstand. Make it a habit. Touch, rinse, repeat. Your hands are with you every step of the day. Keeping them clean keeps you safer and stronger. 7. Kitchen hygiene. Clean eating starts here. The kitchen is often called the heart of the home. It's where we prepare food, share meals, and gather with loved ones. But it can also be one of the easiest places for harmful bacteria to spread, especially when hygiene slips. Many older adults unknowingly keep expired food, skip washing fruits and vegetables thoroughly, or overlook cleaning surfaces that come into contact with raw ingredients. Take the story of Lillian, a 72-year-old retired librarian who had always been careful about what she ate. But as time passed, she found it harder to read small expiration labels and sometimes forgot when items were opened. One afternoon, she heated up a can of soup she had kept in the pantry for years. Within hours, she felt nauseated and dizzy. A trip to urgent care confirmed it was mild food poisoning from expired food. She recovered fully, but it could have been much worse. Foodborne illnesses can be particularly dangerous for older adults, especially those with weakened immune systems. The good news? A few small changes go a long way. Check expiration dates regularly. Clean produce thoroughly, even items you plan to peel. Use a kitchen marker or label system to track when containers are opened. And don't forget to sanitize countertops, cutting boards, and sponges. Your kitchen should nourish you, not make you sick. A clean space means safe meals, peace of mind, and continued independence. Eating well starts not just with what you eat, but with how you prepare it. 8. Foot care. The foundation we forget. We rely on our feet every single day, but they often become one of the most neglected parts of our bodies, especially as we get older. They're out of sight, sometimes hard to reach and easy to forget. But the truth is, proper foot hygiene is critical. Neglecting it can lead to infections, pain, and serious complications, particularly for seniors living with diabetes, poor circulation, or mobility issues. Let me share the story of Esther, a 74-year-old retired teacher who lived alone and enjoyed gardening in her small backyard. She wore closed shoes most of the day, often without socks, and rarely paid attention to her feet. When the skin around her toes started peeling and itching, she assumed it was just dryness from the weather. But weeks passed, and the discomfort worsened. Eventually, her daughter convinced her to see a podiatrist who diagnosed a fungal infection, athlete's foot, caused by moisture and lack of proper hygiene. Esther was surprised. "I thought athlete's foot was something teenage boys got in locker rooms," she said. But the truth is, fungal infections are incredibly common among older adults, especially when feet aren't cleaned and dried properly. Wearing shoes all day traps sweat and heat, and without regular care, the skin becomes a breeding ground for bacteria and fungi. Proper foot care doesn't require expensive products or complicated routines. It starts with daily washing using warm water and gentle soap. After washing, it's crucial to dry the feet thoroughly, especially between the toes, where moisture tends to linger. Wet skin is more likely to break down and become infected. Inspection is also important. Take a moment each day to look at your feet. Are there any sores, redness, swelling, changes in color or temperature? These may be signs of underlying problems that should be seen by a doctor, particularly if you have diabetes. If bending down is difficult, try using a mirror or ask a caregiver or family member to help. Toenails also need regular attention. When nails grow too long or too thick, they can press into the skin and cause painful ingrown nails or even infections. If cutting them becomes difficult, try soaking your feet in warm water beforehand to soften the nails. And if self-care isn't possible, scheduling visits with a podiatrist can make a world of difference. Esther made those changes. She started a weekly routine, washing and drying her feet every night before bed, wearing breathable socks, rotating her shoes, and using antifungal powder when needed. Within a month, the itching stopped. More than that, she said she felt more grounded, literally and emotionally. Our feet carry us through every season of life. They deserve to be treated with care, respect, and attention. Don't wait for pain or infection to remind you just how important they are. 9. Outdated personal care products. Over time, it's easy to grow attached to the products we know. The same soap we've used for decades, that lotion our spouse once picked out, a familiar brand of shampoo that brings back memories from the corner drugstore. But as our skin changes with age, so do its needs. And using outdated or unsuitable personal care products can do more harm than good, especially for seniors with dry, thinning, or sensitive skin. Let me introduce you to Barbara, a 79-year-old woman who had always kept her bathroom stocked with the same items she used since her 40s. A bright yellow bar soap, a firm bristled hairbrush, and a face cream that had long passed its expiration date sat on her shelf. She never gave them much thought, until her skin began to feel tight and flaky, no matter how much cream she applied. She assumed it was just part of aging, but after a visit to her dermatologist, she learned the soap she loved was too harsh for her now delicate skin. It stripped away natural oils and caused irritation. The face cream, once soothing, had lost its effectiveness and was beginning to harbor bacteria. Barbara switched to a gentle, fragrance-free cleanser and a moisturizing lotion formulated for aging skin. Within 2 weeks, the redness and dryness faded. More importantly, she felt comfortable in her own skin again. It's not just about what's expired, it's about what's appropriate. As we age, our skin becomes thinner and loses moisture more easily. Fragrances, alcohol-based toners, and heavy exfoliants can trigger reactions that didn't happen when we were younger. Even toothbrushes with hard bristles or hair products with strong chemicals can become too aggressive. That's why it's essential to take inventory of your personal care items at least twice a year. Check expiration dates on everything, from lotions and shampoos to toothpaste and lip balm. Products that are past their prime may not only lose their effectiveness, but in some cases, they can actually promote bacterial growth. If the texture has changed, the smell is off, or the color is different, it's time to let it go. Ask your pharmacist or doctor if you're unsure about what works best for your current needs. Many drugstores now carry senior skin lines designed with extra hydration and fewer irritants. You can also test a new product on a small patch of skin before fully applying it. Barbara now keeps a small tray in her bathroom with just the essentials she trusts. No clutter, no guesswork, just care that fits the person she is today, not the one she was 50 years ago. Remember, self-care isn't just about routine. It's about reassessing what's right for who you are now. 10. Ear hygiene. Don't miss what matters. Hearing loss is often seen as an inevitable part of aging, but sometimes what seems like fading hearing is really just an issue of ear hygiene, specifically a buildup of wax. It's one of the most overlooked hygiene concerns among older adults, yet one of the easiest to prevent and manage. Take the story of Irene, an 82-year-old woman who started missing words in conversations and turning up the volume on her TV. She assumed her hearing was declining. But a visit to her doctor revealed that her ear canals were blocked with wax. After a simple cleaning, she was able to hear clearly again. No hearing aids, no special equipment, just clean ears. Earwax is natural. It protects the ear from dust, dirt, and bacteria. But too much wax, especially if it gets compacted, can cause hearing loss, discomfort, or even infection. Unfortunately, many people make the problem worse by using cotton swabs or other objects to clean inside their ears. This usually just pushes the wax deeper or damages the ear canal. The safest way to maintain ear hygiene is to clean only the outer ear with a damp cloth. If you suspect a buildup, avoid inserting anything into the ear. Instead, speak with your doctor. There are also safe, over-the-counter drops that soften wax, but they should be used with caution and under guidance. If you wear hearing aids, be sure to clean them regularly as well. Wax buildup can reduce their effectiveness and lead to more serious problems. Just like Irene, you might be missing more than you think until you take care of your ears. We've talked today about 10 small hygiene habits that often go unnoticed, but can quietly shape how we feel, how we age, and how we connect with the world around us. From the clothes we wear to the way we care for our teeth, our feet, our hands, and our ears, each one is a quiet act of self-respect. You don't need expensive tools or dramatic changes. Most of the solutions we've discussed are simple. What matters most is consistency, awareness, and kindness, especially toward yourself. Let's take a moment to remember the key points. Change clothes regularly. Groom with patience and pride. Keep the body clean, but also safe. Check your feet. Listen to your hearing. Look at your shelf and ask, is this still right for me? These aren't just hygiene tips. They're invitations to live with greater ease and dignity. And no matter your age, you deserve both. If this video helped you reflect on your own routines or brought someone to mind who may need a gentle reminder, share it with them. Leave a comment below. Your story could be the encouragement someone else needs. And if you'd like more thoughtful guidance like this, we'd love for you to subscribe. Until next time, take good care of yourself. You matter.